Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Yes, I have a new camera. Look, you can actually see my hands. Ish, kind of. I'm still getting used to it. It does need to be a little bit further away. I do have an arm for it, but I need an adapter, so I'm waiting on that. So hopefully, maybe, by the end of this video, we will have that. Hopefully. Anyway, I want to work on my, what's it called, battle honours. Yeah, I need to start working on that. There's a couple of bits I still need to read in the book, but I also need to paint a piece of terrain. That's like the last major thing aside from playing that I need to do. So I've got myself the Battlefield expansion set, which is a big box. That big a box, yeah. Camera's not really angled for this one, but that one with all the pipes and doodads. Yeah, I like this one because it's modular and it's pretty nice, easy setup, and I think it's a good amount of terrain purely for a combat patrol game. I don't think a combat patrol game needs any more terrain than just these, really. So very, very handy, because I'm trying to get the missus to do some of her Tyranid stuff, but I digress. So let's have a look-see inside. Because the main reason why I have chose this is to help also with the Golden Goblin for this month. And the reasons for that are so I can get a sense of scale between the floors, you know, like, so I know how high each wall generally is, because I don't know the measurements and whatnot. I could probably Google it, but still, two birds, one stone. That's my reason for purchase. We'll call it that. So, how's this one open? It's one of them ones where you just lift the lid. Okay, no silly flaps to mess around with. Wonderful. Wow. That's some big chunky bits of plastic. Wow, look at these. How thick is it? That's a lot more robust than I was expecting. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. How many sprues is there? So I bet there's a few. Got one, got two, we got three, we got four, and aha! Also comes with a mat. Awesome. Sweet. So I've got some varied terrain, and then obviously we have a nice instruction book for it as well. Lovely. Wow. This terrain board thing, it's quite heavy. To say it's just a chunk of cardboard, you know what I mean? It's got some heft to it, definitely. Did I just knock the camera? Yeah, I did. Of course I did. Right, let's have a look in this. So it's Battlefield expansion set. Okay, and yep, stick the pipes together. Pretty cool. Then sides of the towers, end caps, and some spinny wheels and some extra bits. Pretty cool, very nice. Then got the nice AdMech logo. Is that an AdMech logo? Yeah, I think it is, or it's just a servitor. I don't know. But yeah, again, it is all modular. You can set it up however you wish. You can have each bit freestanding, which I do like. And then the all-important floor level. The big bold yellow line. Yeah. Right, so whilst I'm waiting on the remainder of my airbrush stuff to arrive, I might as well get this prepped and ready and just use the big needle and nozzle that I've got to prime it. Yeah, cool. Lots of things to go through in today's episode, and I don't know if it is all going to be prep work or what, but we will find out. And we will find out what actually gets included, because I've just realised we're already 5 minutes in. And there we are. It's all built up. It didn't take me very long last night, but yeah, it's a nice kit. I do like it. It's very robust. It was nice just putting something together and not worrying as such, you know, like I've left a lot of lugs on it and stuff. I haven't bothered cleaning anything up, but the only bits that were a concern on it are some of these corners. They're a little bit iffy. Some go together really well, some are a little bit misaligned, but yeah, the pressure has separated them from, like, trying to hold them together like on the inside there, but it's terrain. It's terrain. I'm not that fussed as such about that, but I think it is because I didn't sand it off, and there is some mounting points in there and they could be interfering with it. But all in all, I'm quite pleased with this kit. It has an awful lot of detail, especially in all the servitor skulls and emblems and this, that and the other, but my favourite piece is probably this piece. I really like this piece. It's very, very cool. It's got a nice control panel, 2 servitor skulls in it, and then a cool Admeki looking symbol on the back, and I believe that is another servitor. I don't know. It could just be decorative. I don't know, but again, I like it. It is all modular, all these pipes. You can just have them freestanding as they are because they've all got vent covers on them, which is great. Even these broken-ended pieces, they have them as well. Some of them have like little gas bottles and some control panels and other skulls in them. So it can be very decorative, very, very decorative and very cool to do. So yeah, let's move on to next step, getting them primed. And I'm going to go black with them. I'm also going to zenithal them, and I think I might chuck some different coloured inks on them, you know, to work up a tarnish layer and then sponge them down. Probably the best bet. And then dry brush. Yeah. And then maybe pick out some things like the skulls and whatnot and do them white. Oh, also on these big buildings, there's more skulls and more tanks and doors. Still on the other end, piping and things, which, if I really want to, I could tickle it all up later. But this is meant to be a quick job, and I'm just sat here gassing to a camera. Now then, some of you long-time viewers of the channel know me. I like to chop and change. I can't always stick with one thing full on, but yes, I decided to do some more of the Nobz on warbikes. And I don't remember if I've said, but I bought some Forge World Nobz on warbikes. So I've only got 6 to do, and we've got 3 bog standard looking guys here with the generic stuff. I've had to reclaim one of these orange ones because I wanted each of them to be a different bike, and this was the only one that had this particular format, so he needs a good clean. Then we've got this one here, which is the track back one, and then we've got this one, which is just the lumpy bumpy wheel, which I think is probably my favourite one, that one. I don't know why, but I gave them all the same fronts, and they've all got the knob skulls on them and blah blah blah. Then we've got these 3 here, and these are the worst of the bunch, sadly. But I've just got a bit more cleanup to do with these, and they should be ready to rock and roll. Now, I'm really not happy with this guy in particular because his gun is extremely wonky. And I don't like it, but there is nothing I can do to rectify it, and I'm rather disappointed. And the autofocus on this camera really, really is annoying, and I've been tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, and I still can't quite get it there, but I think it's... It'll be alright. I'm going to be doing a big feng shui of my work area very soon, so we should have a proper setup, and I should have this on a proper arm, so there shouldn't be any of this blurry anymore, hopefully. As for claw, I've had to use a Mega Knob claw, and I've used the arm of a big chopper, and I figured I'd retain the chain and just have it sort of dangling, so it looks as if he's waving it and the chain's swinging. Just a bit of daft, as you do. Then I've made another claw over here, which honestly isn't that bad. So again, it's used the arm from a big chopper. I didn't bother with the chain, and what I've done is I've cut off part of the axe here at the bottom, and then I've used the claws from the wartrike kit that I used to make the war boss itself, and then I just put a little decorative doodad from a Mega Nobz on there as well. Come on, focus on it. There we go. Yeah, that little effort. Still needs cleaning up, and it's still a little tacky with the glue, but all in all, I think it looks pretty mean, especially when you stick it upright like that. I think that looks really, really wicked, honestly, and very, very orky. So I think it's suitable for a knob on a warbike, or even I might take it off and actually put this one on the war boss when I get him back. I don't know just yet, but either way, these will be done. That's one less job. So after these, what's next? Scenery. We'll do that. Okay, so with those guys done, it's annoyed me. These, sorry, why am I pointing at those? I have no idea. I can't do it. I'm gonna have to take all these lugs and everything off. I'm looking over them again, and some of them are really, really bad. Also, I want to re-zenithal them in a bone colour, and I used a rattle can, but they haven't been touched, and for some reason I've got a nice scratch on the top of that one. No idea why, so I might as well manhandle them a bit and get them a bit better. I know, like I say, it is just for me and Mrs., but me and my OCD about at least having it somewhat there, you know? So I'm going to do that. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I've just got this weird impression that I might have pressed on a little bit too hard with my knife. What do you reckon? I've decided to bone spray these. As you can tell, we've got a bit of a colour gradient running down them. They're brighter towards the top and darker towards the bottom. This is going to help with the next step as well. And obviously we've got some darker recesses underneath. All thanks to the airbrush, honestly. Using the 0.4 needle again, it's very, very overkill. It's like a blooming hose. It really is. It just it chews through paint. It really, really does. But we've got those done, and then we've got the big guys here as well. And honestly, I'm not looking forward to the next bit. I think it's definitely going to be gloves on. If you recall, I had that big jar of oil wash. Now, I don't really think that's going to be suitable for any sort of miniature, and I won't mind getting rid of it. And I know it's a bit gritty and it's a bit this, that, and the other, and I think it would work best with this. So I'm going to get a big brush, get my gloves on, put some kitchen roll down, I think, and get all these done. Yeah, it's this gunky stuff here. Just got a coffee stirrer thing, electric, whiskey, whatever you want to call it, in it. And it's jet black now, so should be good. Let's have some fun slobbing some paint on. Right, here goes. Let's see what happens. So, just going to brush everything on. Want it pulling down to the bottom more than anything. Not bothered about being super accurate with it, but I just want coverage on everything. So, just working down like so. Get all up on the top there. Pull it all down. Easy slobbing all the paint on. There we go. I'm glad I put some kitchen roll down, definitely. Definitely. Gonna end up with it everywhere. But it is dark, this. Very, very dark. And it will mean that I may have to probably stipple or something after. Or maybe pull some of it off. I don't quite know. But it doesn't look too bad just straight off as it is. Stop most of the pooling on it. It's pretty good. I mean, look at that. That don't look too bad at all. I mean, I know it is, like I say, it's just a piece of terrain. But that's not the point, is it? I want to have fun, fast-ish, but decent looking. So, there we go. Nice little tickle. I'd say that's done. Sweet. Let's do the rest. Well, I was just about to set up to record for wiping off that oil wash, and we have a friend. What are you doing down there, madam? Hey? What are you doing? You're on the camera. You're famous now, Sprout. Hey? You're famous. Woo! So I probably should have gloves on for this bit as well, but it's just makeup sponge and just start rubbing, just top down like this, and most of it should come off. Like I say, it is only a piece of scenery, so I'm not super duper into it, but it's to try and get it off the top end, and then we can go over with a nice bit of dry brushing after. I just don't want this sort of build up of the paint in the areas where I'd rather they be brighter. So all on this top edge like this, simply done. Tops of these like that, tops of these maybe around this rim as well. Let's see, it's not doing too bad on its own. And just a gentle brush down, trying to get some of these really bad bits off. And it is still a little bit soggy around the bottom, but that's fine. So nice little brush down. Kind of gets rid of the whole brush strokes and everything as well. Blends them in a little bit. So we can get these bits in there a little bit. This is a bit too fierce on some of the decorative bits than I would like, but never mind. But yeah, all in all, you get something like that, which isn't too bad. Maybe take that top off as well, because that looks peculiar. Like that. Yeah. Pretty good. I'm happy with that. Bit more on here. And a little bit more over here. It's like I say, this thing, it's aged, it's weathered, it's been in a war. You know, it's not going to be super brightly coloured, it's heavily corroded. You can already see here, like this is sculpted in, the corrosion of it. So it's going to be a manky looking thing. Well, it already is. You know what I'm saying. So I'll give all these a little tickle, a little wipe with this, and then we'll carry on with the next bit. And this is the end result. So as you can see with this camera, it kind of looks very grayscale. My lighting in here isn't that fantastic, but you might be able to notice that there is a darker line from here downwards. which is all part of me doing the bone spray. They're all shaded on the underside, and the tops of everything have been cleaned off pretty nicely. Now, I want to leave this looking like stone, but there is an awful lot of metalwork on this particular thing, and the best way to approach it, I would say, would be to just dry brush your metals on and pick out your areas, because you've got these big rows along here. Then the columns themselves, I believe, are all metal, because they seem to be housings for pipes and cables and this, that, and the other. Then you've got the plates as well, but we don't want to go too heavy with it, or else we'll lose all the shading. So I think just a simple top-down dry brush along all these areas, and that should be that. And that is going to be the big time-consuming part of it, because after that, it's like, yeah, I can pick out a couple of specific colours here and there, maybe do the door a different colour. Then obviously the head, we could do black one side, white the other, but stipple it opposed to painting. Then the cog itself, maybe do that in a copper, but again, just a downwards dry brush with that. And I think that should just about do it. And then a decent dry brush on the floor itself. So yeah, I'll get cracked on with that now. Honestly, I swear I've got some sort of mental dysfunction or something like that. Every time I try and do something, I get to the point where it's like, oh, I've got to wait for this to dry or this to do something or whatever. And then I go ahead and do something completely different and get completely off track. So, broke my knife, got a new knife. So there we go. Looking at Forge World stuff, got myself one of these because then I don't twitch and break the thing. Which, yeah, I'm scared of doing. Could really do with both of those. So that's that done. Then I got some of this liquid green stuff. Never used it before. Don't know if it's any good, but may or may not be good. Yeah. So that's that done. Next, we are on with the scenery. It needs doing. And I have a game plan because, like I say, this is only going to be visible from a tabletop. It doesn't need to be all singing, all dancing, best thing ever created. So I've pulled out my 2 secret weapons. These are a starter brush, a small dry brush from the 90s that I think I used as a child. Hence the state of them. I just found them buried in one of the boxes, and I thought that because they are just so mangled and this, that, and the other, that I can literally just jab some paint and then just go like that. And that is the plan. So I'm going to pick out some white, some red, maybe red. Some red accents, yeah, I think so. And then I might dry brush these pipe bits. But yeah, I did the top of this with the dry brush in Lead Belcher, and I did that one just with the grey outlining. And personally, I think I prefer it without the dry brush. So I don't think I'll be doing any more in that way. Then I've just done all the trims with the greys very messily, which is all part of it. And then it will have another wash after this. So it'll be going back into the big gloopy vat. So yeah, that's my secret weapon. 2 horrible brushes. Let's see how we get on. And there we are, all done. So what we've done is picked out some highlight areas, done some copper and a downwards white dry brush on most areas. Yes, it looks absolutely dire at the moment. but the wash will sort it all out. Because we want the model and the wash to do the heavy lifting for us. You've got to think this stuff has been in a war zone. It doesn't need to be the most accurate thing in the world. You know, you can make it as accurate or inaccurate as you wish. So for the tops, I basically stabbed the edges with the white, did some dry brushing and intermittent stabbing all over. Same with the sides. I really need to go and set up that other arm. That's why I'm trying to rush through this. I've got my entire workspace to sort out for better camera orientations and everything. So I've got to literally pull everything out of this room and reorganize and feng shui. So that's why I'm trying to get this done. So yeah, again, picking out some bits, dry brush on top, some stabbing, and I run the edges of those, copper on the cable bit, and the vent's just the vent, you know. So again, the wash does the heavy lifting for us. And the other piece, the big piece, you might be wondering where this one is. This one, I'm not painting because the missus wants to paint it. And yeah, I was a bit disappointed at that because this is probably my favourite bit as well. These two are the best bits, I think. Very, very cool pieces. Oh, come on, camera. Teething problems. I really need that arm. I really do. So at least then I could like zoom instead of having it slap bang in front of me. But hey ho, it is what it is. With time, we'll get there. We'll get there. But anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed it. Don't forget to take care of yourselves, all that jazz. As I say, as I do. But if you want to see the final washed results of this, I'll stick some on social media. Again, they're not show winning quality. It's just something that's quick and get the washers to do the heavy lifting for you. So yeah, I'll put some probably as well at the beginning of my next episode. But for now, I need to go and rip my office to pieces. So yeah, take care of yourselves. Don't forget to do all usual YouTube things for me. And I'll see you all at next one. Goodbye.